Hi everyone. So, I have been trying to think of a video to do all week long, and I have a couple of ideas. I'm still trying to work on the other one. But for today's video, I thought I would cover guide dogs because every time I bring up the subject of guide dogs, people seem to have questions. So, in case you don't know, I have been looking into getting a guide dog. I've just been doing like the preliminary research, like going to see what the application process was like, asking questions, all of that, which I think you should do because ultimately you need to know what users experienced when they were at these different schools. And when I was at Alpha Point, I went to Alpha Point with a guy that had the most well-behaved guide dog I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, where did you get your dog? Because, she's so well-behaved. And he's like, oh, I got her from this school called KSDS, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it stands for. But I have the site pulled up because I was just looking at it. It might be upside down, but that's the site. And literally, you can just go to Google and type in KSDS, and it'll come up. But it's basically in Kansas State, which is a whole lot closer than the other school that I was looking at. I think this might have been covered briefly on Living Blind blog, but it wasn't covered by me. So, the reasons for everyone getting a guide dog and not getting a guide dog are individualized and different for each person. But for me, I always feel like I do better with a companion. Like, I feel like I walk faster and I feel like I'm more confident, so I feel like a guide dog would be a good fit. However, the reason that I don't have a guide dog is because the only place that I really go, at least on a weekly basis until I start up at school again, assuming that I even go anywhere for school because most of my classes are online, is church. And this brings me to my first point, which is, where are you allowed to take a guide dog? There are only two places where you are not allowed to legally take a guide dog. And that is church and the operating room. Church because of the separation of church and state, and the operating room for obvious reasons. Anywhere else you can take a guide dog, even if it says that pets aren't allowed. Guide dogs aren't pets, they're necessities. They're your appendage, they're part of you. So, technically they can't say no. They could, but they could also be opening themselves up to lawsuits. Me and this person had extensive conversations about this because I was telling him, that my family was like, well, you can't take a dog here and you can't take a dog here. And he was like, that's not true. So anyway, I needed a drink. So I've been looking at a couple of different schools, including KSDS, and literally this is the only school that I've looked at that has a simple application. Wow, it's as old as me. Who knew? Uh, and with this school, you can also request service dogs. So they don't just do guide dogs, they do service dogs, they do dogs for educational purposes. I don't know, you'll just have to Google them and find their list. So let's click on guide dog application really quick. Um, and this is just the application request form right here. This is crazy. Like, this is the other school that I was looking at, you had to submit a video of you doing a route. And of course, I'll have to call the school and see what they have you do. But the other school, you had to do a route, and you had to submit a video of that, and you had to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And I have good mobility skills. Like, my mobility skills are good. My orientation skills are a different story. I have a tendency to get lost, get disorientated very easily, and that could be a problem for me, as well as my slow walking pace. Although several of my friends have told me that it will not be a problem. So I don't know. I really want a guide dog, but at this point, the only place I really go is church. Maybe, and I'm not entirely sure what the wait list is, so maybe when I get to the point, like, maybe when I get back into college, I might be going more places, or I don't know, we'll just have to see. But basically, this is the application. You have to fill out your name, address, and all that, phone number. Sorry. And your email address. And you have to be 14 years old or older to get a guide dog. Fun fact. Like, this is really the easiest thing that I've seen. Like, the one, like I said, the one that I was looking at wanted you to have really high standards, and the person that I was talking to actually did not have a lot of mobility training before he got his dog, and they were able to work with him, so that's why I'm looking into the school. And like I said, he literally had the most well-behaved dog. Like, she was so good. And I don't know, the dog and him just impressed me, and I was like, I'm gonna look at the school. And then it was like, I'm gonna make a video about it. So anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're brand new, ring that notification bell, make sure it's set to all notifications. Hey, if you have questions about guide dogs, leave them down in the comments below. I might do another video next week. Like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter. Both of these are Steffi2010, can be found in the description below, as well as on my YouTube page below the About section, and also in the description you can find a link to translate and transcribe my videos into other languages or add closed captions to them, whatever. And you can do that for any or all or just one of my videos. And if you don't do that, that's okay too. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.